Clara didn't want to be in Hollow Pine. The logging town, swallowed by thick Oregon forest and shrouded in mist most of the year, felt like the edge of the world. After her mother's sudden death, her social worker sent her to live with the only relative still alive, Tom, her estranged grandfather. She hadn't seen him since she was 6. Tom barely said a word as they drove to his cabin in an old, rust-covered truck. The tires crunched on gravel as they passed by shuttered shops and sagging houses. People glanced at Clara from behind curtains. She wanted to be anywhere else. His cabin stood alone, surrounded by pines so tall they seemed to pierce the clouds. Inside, it smelled of dust and pine sap. Old photos lined the mantel, including one of her mother as a child, smiling stiffly next to a much younger Tom. But her eyes, Clara noticed, weren't smiling at all. That night, Clara lay awake on a thin mattress, listening to the oppressive silence. There were no crickets, no owls, just the wind in the trees, and then something else, whispers, soft, curling voices, like someone murmuring secrets in her ear. Her name, repeated, low and slow asterisk. She sat up quickly. The window was open, but the woods were empty. She shivered and slammed it shut. In the morning, she asked Tom about it. "There's nothing out there," he said gruffly, not meeting her eyes. "Don't listen to what you think you hear." But I said, "Don't listen." That day, Clara wandered into the woods anyway. She followed a worn trail until the path split, one fork well-trodden, the other nearly overgrown. On a whim, she took the lesser path. Trees crowded closer, shadows stretched farther, and then the whispering began again, just barely louder than the breeze. She stopped. A carved tree stood before her, marked with strange symbols and her mother's initials. That night, she demanded answers. Tom slammed his whiskey glass down. "Your mother went into those woods when she was your age, heard the whispers, same as you. I dragged her out myself. She never spoke of what happened, but she was never the same." Clara stared. "You're saying there's something in the woods?" "I'm saying," he muttered, "that if you keep listening to them, they'll make you part of the forest." Clara dreamed of children playing beneath the trees, their laughter echoing like wind. One turned to her, its face pale and eyes black. It opened its mouth. Inside was a dark, endless void. She woke up screaming. The next evening, she followed a trail of feathers into the woods. They glowed faintly, leading deeper than she'd ever gone. There, a boy stood in the fog barefoot, translucent. "Don't go further," he whispered. "You'll forget who you are, like the rest of us." Clara stepped past him. The forest changed. The trees warped, their bark pulsing as if breathing. Children stood among the trunks, unmoving, watching her. The whispers now were deafening, 100 voices weeping, pleading, singing. At the center of a clearing stood a single dead tree, its bark black and cracked. On it, her mother's full name, carved deep. Touching it sent visions into her head of her mother, young and terrified, offering herself to the forest in exchange for her father's life. But she had run, and the forest had waited. It wanted what it was owed. Clara ran, branches clawing at her. The forest howled, twisting around her. The ghost boy appeared again. "Sam, you can end it," he whispered. "Break the anchor. Set us free." She reached the cursed tree and tore her mother's locket from her neck. Pressing it against the trunk, she recited the words Sam had taught her, names of the forgotten. The tree screamed. The ground split. Spirits burst from the bark like smoke, vanishing into the air. Then silence. Real silence. The kind filled with birdsong. Clara woke at dawn on her bed. Had it been a dream? She stepped outside. The forest was calm, light filtering through gently swaying branches. Tom stood there, teary-eyed. "They're gone," he said. "I can feel it." Sam's ghost stood at the edge of the trees, smiling. Clara smiled back, but as she turned to go inside, she paused. Clara. A whisper echoed faintly this time from deep inside her head.